Hi again, thank you for joining us once again on our real estate web series. Today we're going to be giving tips to landlords of rental properties. We want you to consider some of the factors that you need to implement or some of the criteria that you need to implement both literally and in your thinking to maximize the possibility of renting your property during this time. So here we go. Number one. Presentation of your property is key. As I've said before, there are a lot of properties on the market right now, both residential and commercial, and you need to present your property in its best possible condition. We reviewed before about cleaning, painting, clearing up a kitchen, or clearing the hallway, or making the entryway to your commercial property accessible, cleaning and upgrading the bathrooms, not having dirty laundry hanging around or unnecessary rubbish in the hallways, or even if it's in a commercial space, having a bunch of wiring and casing and conduit piping just hanging around. So these are all things that we have discussed before. Basically, try to get your property as close to being a showroom property as much as possible. A showroom house or a showroom commercial property, if you look at pictures online of how showroom images project themselves, it becomes very attractive to the client who is either surfing the net or looking for properties in a serious way. Additionally to this, you need to maximize your ambient and natural lighting in your property. Open curtains, windows, doorways. Let as much of that natural light in as possible so as to create a bright look as well as amplify the size of the space that is available or when the client is walking through. Turn all the lights on. Don't have dark, dingy looking spaces within the property. Furthermore, when we have to take pictures, lighting is even more important because, again, remember, first impression counts. Number two, understand the true value of your property from the tenant's perspective. Try looking at it from the client's perspective and the criteria that they would use to compare your property with other options on the market. We can always find advantages for every property, but then what makes your property stand out against another? Or what makes your property unique? And how can we propose that to the client? So the client will come in looking for the criteria that fits their specific purpose. You may have specific, unique benefits to your property, but if it's not a match to what the client needs, then it doesn't matter. So we need to highlight what are the strong points of your property, and then if that is a match with what the client needs, you probably have a deal. So we need to focus on the highlights and the benefits and the advantages of your property and see if that is a good match for the client. Thirdly, money matters. The days of requesting massive security deposits and 1 year's worth of rent in advance is pretty much over. There are few situations and a few properties in which you can demand that, and very few clients who actually prefer to do it that way. But for the most part, this is now not the rule anymore. It is the exception. So you as the landlord need to understand this and be flexible. Massive key money does not work anymore for the most part. So be creative in how you approach it. Rather than saying 6 months security deposit and 1 year's rent, or 3 months security deposit and 6 months rent, you could get creative. One example is you ask the client to give you 2 months security deposit and say 3 months rent. And then after 3 months, they pay you another 3 months rent, so they're paying quarterly. Another option is 1 month security deposit, but 6 months rent up front, and then they pay you a half month's rent every month. So you as the landlord, you're always ahead. And you don't have to worry about the client falling behind on rental payments because you are a little bit ahead of them when it comes to collecting the monthly rent. But be creative, because there are plenty of clients right now who have so many options they are willing to give you 2 months security deposit and then just pay monthly rental. If you look at it from the positive perspective, you always have 2 months of rent in hand. So what are you losing? Take these three things into consideration because tenants right now have a vast variety of options for them and you want to get your property rented. So implement these factors both literally and into your mindset so that your property has the best chance of getting rented in a short period of time. Once again, like us, subscribe to our channel and our different pages. Thank you for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful week. Take care.